everyone, my name's Misbah. Welcome back to another video. So even though I've called this video London Part 2, I've actually started it by sharing a walk that I did in an orchard near Stile Mill. I think there's nothing better than going for a stroll in the countryside to help you unwind after a couple of hectic days in London. Now, while I was in London, the second day, I visited Leadenhall Market. It's a Victorian market. It's actually got shops and restaurants now, but it still retains its ornate Victorian structure. So it has a beautiful painted ceiling and lots of original features. And one of the reasons why I visited it is because it was mentioned in the Harry Potter tour of London. So you can do a Sherlock Holmes tour or a Harry Potter tour. There's lots of different literature tours that you can do around London. And this Leadenhall Market was actually used as Diagon Alley in the first Harry Potter book. So when Harry Potter goes into the leaky cauldron and then goes through and he emerges in the wizarding world, it's actually filmed in Leadenhall Market. So I'll share that with you next. So the last place that I visited in London was Notting Hill. It was made famous in the film Notting Hill with Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant. And you can see what a trendy and buzzing place it is. And I found it exactly like that, especially walking down Portobello Road. There was lots of trendy little shops and jewellery stalls. And it had this really vibrant feel about it, but without being exhausting, like being in the centre of London. It still had this relaxed feel. There was a film crew filming something and I couldn't find out what. And the reason why I visited Notting Hill was because I'd read that you could actually see the house where George Orwell had lived when he lived in Notting Hill, and the house is marked with a plaque. George Orwell lived there and wrote his novel, Keep the Aspidistra Flying. This is a dark comic novel, and in it the character George Comstock, he gives up a lucrative, well-paid job because he wants to stay true to his principles and not follow the money god. He wants to become a poet and a writer. But Orwell shows us both sides, and he sort of makes us ask the question, is it better to work hard and be successful but to sell out on your principles, or to starve but to just even follow your dreams even if you're not successful? And in the end, George Comstock he becomes a kind of monster. So even though he's fighting against this monstrous society, he becomes a monster himself. The title, Keep the Aspidistra Flying, refers to a plant, an aspidistra, which was really popular in Victorian times because in Victorian homes they had very little light because they would light their houses with gas lamps. So there was very little light and very poor quality air because of the gas. and the aspidistra was a really tough plant that would thrive under these conditions, and so it was popular in Victorian times. And George Orwell is mocking this idea of respectability in Victorian times. So it was interesting to walk past and imagine him sitting there writing the book. So I'll share that final part with you. Thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you next time.